What's up YouTube? This is E85 Z4 3-liter with the M54 engine. Is literally pretty much the same on the transmission and the engine side compared to E46 3 Series. And with this SSG transmission, it's essentially a manual gearbox. What they use is the with 3-pedal regular manual. They just attach to this hydraulic system. So the reason why I pull this all the way outside of the bay and connect all these things, because there's literally no information about this transmission, how to fix it. So, and I want to discover, so just remove everything and try to operate it outside. So first thing first, if you want to do something, test or do something with it, you need the battery charge. And because I was like in the middle of somewhere with the active control without the battery is dead, you don't want that. So, and another thing is need the ground the transmission hydraulic pump to the chassis, because originally this pump is only in this connection, which is the power for the pump only have positive, and the ground is connected through here to the transmission body, and the transmission is attached to the engine. So without that connection, we need to ground it. Now we can test it. And the most common problem about this transmission will be these two sensors. Okay, in the back it'll be the gear sensor, selection sensor. In the front is the angle sensor, path sensor, shifter sensor. Different platform or equipment has different name, but essentially this one is showing, it's just think about you using a manual gearbox and go left and right and front and back. This sensor tell you which position you're at horizontally, left or right. Okay, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. This one is show is the you're in the front gear, neutral or back gear is this one. Okay, originally we have a Fox wheel. Okay, now if you have code on 4EF5, 4EF4, which is the code for these two sensors, you don't necessarily take the transmission all the way out to replace them. In better later I will put this underneath the engine and I'll show you how we can reach to there to replace them. But since we're already open, I can show you how to do it more clearly. Basically, you're gonna remove your transmission mount, which is the back, and the mount will be still on, and my transmission jack was underneath it. So let it slowly tail down. Then you will have about this much space above the transmission, which you can work on. I will use a Allen key like this one. So you see, just turn loose it. Just couple turn loose it. Then you can use some other Allen bit or something. I don't have with my hand right now, but anyway, it'd be like something shorter or smaller, even just a screwdriver bit. Then you can put here, use your thumb and finger, just turn it so it will come loose. So only this is to make it loose. Okay, so hope this helpful enough for you if you need to replace these two sensors. Okay, now hook up the Fox wheel, and you can see it's a little bit bright. Okay, you can see we have the position gear sensor and shifter gate. Okay, and it has the value in the back. Okay, so I already removed the screw of these two sensors. Basically, when you take it out, and see the number. So originally mine was this one, mine was the shifter gear, not shift gear, position. Okay, it always 1023, which is when it's in not touching anything, and when you're moving this, you'll see the number will move. Okay, and originally this is a new one already replaced on. Originally doesn't give any number changed. And how could I tell if it's the sensor itself broken or somewhere the wire? So these are the connector of these two. You can see this side of the original plug, you cannot mess them, you cannot exchange them. You know, they are different shape inside, but what you can do, you can remove from here, which is remove the connector, the terminal from the wire. You can switch them. And after I switch these two, these numbers do not change. So that's where I know my this sensor was broken and I need to replace it. So that's already did. And this is showing which shifter path you are in. You will see the number. The number is here. It will move. Okay. So I will put all this in back and try to do the adaptation. And I tried it like 5 times. It doesn't work. I try to take off, put it back, take off, put it back multiple times. Still doesn't work. Then I'm wondering what's going on? Why this happened? Then I take it off again. Okay, here has a lid. There's a flathead something. To open it, well, I don't recommend do this when the power is on. But essentially, you can push this manually with a flathead screwdriver to put in the gear you want in. So when I put it in reverse, import, the software on the PC show it's in second. No, in first. When I put it in reverse, it show on first. And it never go into second because there's no forward position from the R and to 2. There's nothing over there. It cannot push in, so it was failed. So this sensor is showing which path you are in. So which means when it's supposed to show R, it shows 1. That means the sensor here is messed. Okay, then I take this out again. I find this little arm here was bent, like a tiny little bit bent. And what I always do is I take off the screw, turn it a little bit, couple millimeter, and I read on import. It shows the right number. Then I know, okay, that's how much it bent. So just hold this and bend it straight down 90 degrees. One more time. I tried to adjust it like twice. Now we are in the right gear. And when we put in some gear we want, it works. Here's the result. We haven't finished the adoption yet because we need to put it back. Now the gear can be changed. Now the gear can be changed through the lever. It's still not an adapter with import yet, but what we know is before it cannot go to R, because when you actually manually put the gear in the R, it shows a 1. And if we want it from 1 to R, and it go left more, which there's nowhere to go, so we're stuck over there. So at this moment, we know it's pretty much good. And before we put the transmission all the way back to the car, we can do one more test. Literally any good scanner has the active test function. Should able to do this, we can upshift it. Okay, and every time you're shifting, you will see it moving. Now it's pushed forward, which means if in your manual car, you like to pull it back, and this lever goes forward, which means it's in second now. And let's active one more time. It's in third. That's 4. Okay, we're supposed to in 6 right now. We're still in 4, so 2 more gear to go. Are we in 5? Yeah, we're in 5. And we're trying to get into 6. Yeah, we're in 6 right now. And let's put in engage the reverse gear. Active. Okay, are we in reverse? Okay, the reason why I won't go through all this before I put this back, because now we are very obvious to see it. Is it right? Do we need to adjust this shit more times? It's not a joke, or either put it back, take out, put it back, take out, or working in a very small room underneath the car. So it's better we can go through a little bit. And what we also did is summarize the transmission. We still have the clutch with this old clutch. I already have the new clutch in the car, so I bend it like this. And when I use impart to adapt it, it has something to, because with impart to self-inspection or adaptation route, it will push the clutch first, then we'll try to change the gear, then we'll ask you to start car. I'm not going to start car right now because I remove a lot of wires from the engine, but we already go through all the way to and ask you to start the car. So I'm gonna put this back in the car and let's see, give you some more information about this transmission. Okay, before I put the transmission back, I want to go through some detail that we can easier show you outside of the car. Okay, first is all the wires goes through the transmission is all together with this the 4 O2 sensors, and they was attached to here in the back of the transmission. So this couple zip tie, you cut that, you replace it, then you can pull everything out together if you need to. If it's necessary for you to do the test outside of the car. If not, you just leave it there. Okay. And transmission itself, so you don't necessarily to remove any wire or components of the transmission when you do this job. So basically what you have first is the pump and your reservoir. Then there's a couple solenoid underneath here, and they control through this. So at the first time I removed the solenoid, I was marked these 3 holes, but it's not that necessary. BMW did a good job. They like tied these hoses here. It's not, they won't move freely. And this part is metal, and this is a mechanism they use hydraulic to solenoize your shifting. And here's a box. I forgot the name is for the air inside. And this is your slave cylinder. I removed the clamp for this hose here, just too easy to blink the clutch. The first time I did that, I'll put it back first before I put this transmission back. And these 2 sensors, the wires come here, and this is the connection of your electric pump. It go around transmission and attached to here. They're supposed to here, but I've broken the clip of it, so later I will just zip tie it somewhere here, and it's easier to connect it if we hang it right here. So I use couple pieces of wood to mount the transmission on the jack, because we have the pump and some. I think I don't want to touch it too far, so just pay a little bit patient to fabricate some blocks and hold it. It's pretty straightforward, nothing necessarily different than the regular manual transmission. Besides the slave is connected to the solenoid instead of your brake reservoir. So that's pretty much the only thing really different, and there's less thing you need to remove inside the car, because there's no connect with your interior. So yeah, that's it. And just for Z4 compared to E46, so a little bit easier to remove the top couple bolts, because you can reach from behind the engine instead of like underneath your car. And here's for your starter, here's top two, and the one on the side. This one actually is easier to reach from the bottom of the car. I'm gonna put this back, and I will teach you how to replace the sensor without fully remove the transmission. Actually, it's doable. I did it like half dozens of times already.